Baylor did and said, how'd that happen?
Jeff Gladney seemed to have a pretty good game tonight. The interception.
Really, it was a Hail Mary, but really, to be honest with you, really the whole secondary played well. I mean, they have some good guys. I mean, you're talking about a group that was almost averaging 600 yards a game the last 4 ball games. And so, it's just, there's a lot of positives across the board, to be honest with you.
How did getting Nico back help with that?
Well, you can play faster. I mean, if you want to know, I mean, that's exactly what happened tonight was you have a senior free safety, you can work things around, you know, guys are used to, you're telling younger guys what to do, which helps them get where they're supposed to be. You know, all that makes a difference.
Coach. 2 weeks ago, getting to a ball clearly was not a certainty. What does it mean for this team?
Well, yeah, for me, I mean, in 21 years, this will be the 19th bowl in 21 years. I mean, 16 out of 18, but for me, it's been 19 out of 21. And so, you don't want to be that fact, be part of those facts, be that one group that didn't. And that's what I told them 2 weeks ago. I mean, you want to look on the wall, what do you want to see, how you want to see it, what do you want to do, so.
Was there a moment or a speech or something 2 weeks ago that turned it around for you?
No, you know, our kids have been fighting. You got to give West Virginia a lot of credit, you know, when we played there. I mean, if you look at that ball game, it was 5 minutes left to go in the half, and it's 3-3. What was it? 3-0, 3-3, whatever it was. So we showed signs of doing what we needed to do. So obviously we see what we have to do offensively within the creativity part of it to be able to keep up with the people that score the amount of points that they score in this league. So I hope they keep doing it.
You think you might look back one of these days and judge this as one of your best coaching jobs?
Oh, I don't know. The first year, when they tried to get rid of me, you guys tried to get rid of me in the first year, 2001, when we were 4-5, and I had a columnist at the UAB game. We just got beat, and he asked me, we had Southern Miss and Louisville left to play, and he said, if you think you beat them, you still really think you should go to a bowl game? And I said, yes. And we did. And they were both ranked in the top 20. And he had to go to Hattiesburg and beat them. So yeah, we've been doing this for a while. You know, I'm just proud of the group because I think they've started to grow up. You know, sometimes in pregame speeches, you get up and everybody talks about the seniors. They talk about the seniors and they do all those kind of things. And I stood up and I said, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. You want to win this ball game, you can't have any second thoughts or mild moments. If you want it, you're going to have to go take the game and you're going to have to go do this. Because this is not going to be an easy ball game.
What about the opening stretch in the second half when you got a touchdown on the first?
Finally, something that happened for us instead of happening against us. You know, that's been what's been happening against us for the season. You know, we'll have about a 4 or 5 minute stretch, and this year, these last 2 ball games, Baylor, we didn't turn the ball over, and we got 3 takeaways, and you know, did we get 3 takeaways tonight or 2? Anyway, but that's what I told them. I told them, and they had it in the second half when I walked in. I said, for us to win this game, you're going to have to get at least 2, and we got 1 right off the bat. So.
Did you show a different look defensively? Because it seemed like you guys had really confused Cornelius in the first half, especially throwing the football.
Well, really, the way they got back into the game in the second half was running it. We got tired, and we didn't do a very good, to be honest with you. They went a lot faster starting there in the fourth quarter, and we didn't handle it very well. And to be honest with you, a little bit had to do with we just don't have anybody left. You couldn't go to O'Shawn because he already used his 4th game. You're down to 3, Joe, you couldn't go, so you're down to 3 D tackles and 3 ends. And so, what else are you gonna do? So you can't rotate, and you can't do the things you like to do. If you had an 8-man where you were 2 deep, 8 across the board, where you could bring in 4 new guys, We don't have that flexibility right now. So another one of those reasons why. How did you get to a bowl game? So
For Grayson being here all these years and finally getting that win and start tonight, what does that mean for him just having been here?
well, I told him downstairs, to be honest with you, I told him, if you want to see in a day and age when everybody wants to not going well, they leave, they transfer, they don't handle the hard parts. Here's a guy that stayed for 5 years and was rewarded. He was the consummate corn frog, team player. I think he working on his master's or got his master's. Here's a guy that stayed around because he said this is what he wanted to do, and he appreciated it, and he's been part of us. And so, where would we be right now if he wasn't here? So, I dang for sure wouldn't be playing. We wouldn't have done what we did tonight if I was playing quarterback. I can promise you that.
Coach, looking ahead to the bowl game, do you think some of those guys might get healthy, that you might get some reinforcements?
Well, to be honest with you, there's some guys, we may have surgeries where they won't be able to play that even played tonight that won't play in the bowl game so we can get ready for the spring. You got to this point, but you have to get healthy and you have to get yourself ready for next year. So there's some hard decisions we're going to have to make about a couple guys, to be honest with you. But like Ty Summers, I think he'll get back. There's some guys like that. Nico, he started to get cramping up again, but he'll get him back in shape and he helps to do that. Vernon was back tonight. He made a big play at the end. It's good to have him back. Markel made some plays. Ray made some plays. I mean, you look at the two corners, they both made plays. I mean, there was a lot. I mean, that's a good offensive football team right there. I mean, and to be honest with you, one of the best things that happened was offensively we controlled the ball in the fourth quarter, and we went down and scored her because it wasn't taking them very long to get down there. I was looking like it was about a minute and a half on the 2 touchdown drives. I was not. It was one of those like, gentlemen, we're going to have to make them slow down just a little bit here. So you got to give Oklahoma State a lot of credit.
They have one of the best wide receivers in the country, and y'all really did a great job on him. Was putting Gladney on him?
No, let's just look at history. So last year, Washington, how many catches did he have? He had the one long touchdown. That was about it. Okay, the guy from SMU, how many catches did he have last year when he played us? 1. How many catches did the guy from Iowa State have against us? Here, 1 or 2. It's not like this is just the first time thing that we find ways to double and get over the top and do things to their best guy. So, these guys do a nice job of changing coverages and watching me and doing the things we need to do, and you got to have a little luck. To be honest with you, they had to battle for a couple balls because he does a great job of jumping up in the air. He's a Fort Worth guy, and so I'm sure he wanted to really play well tonight. And to be honest with you, he did. But
Two more questions if you have them.
Mike Gundy is one of mine, just so you understand. He's like one of my favorite people in this profession. Because he's a little bit like me. He has something on his mind and he's probably going to say it. He probably would say it differently than I would, but he would probably say it. So, a lot of respect for him and the job he's done. I don't think people understand how many ball games he's won there and the things he's done. I mean, it's truly spectacular the things he's been able to do and how he's done it.
Coach, if TCU's win tonight, that's 7 bowl eligible teams for the Big 12. How does that speak to the strength of the conference?
Well, I don't know. How many bowl games do we have? 8. So we'd like to have one more. Every year I just watch how we do against our opponents, and then I can kind of tell what kind of league we have. But I can tell you this much: having been a defensive guy in this league, I'm looking forward to watching everybody else defend him instead of me. I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys right now, holy smokes. That's a lot of work. The way they go, how these guys go fast, everybody wants to say that Oklahoma, they say, well, they're not playing very good defense. It really doesn't make any difference. If you can't slow them down, this thing I hear about, well, you got to be a complete team. No, you don't. You just have to have one side of the ball that's better than anything else anybody else can do. So all these people out here that have all those opinions about all that, they need to go try to come defend them. Let me just say that to you. Texas is going to get an opportunity again this next Saturday. But I can just tell you guys right now, I don't want to. Like last year, I had to play Oklahoma twice with Baker. I would not want to play them twice with Kyler. Just telling you right now, it's recess, and it's full blast. Okay, so top 3 or 4 offenses. You look at West Virginia and what Dana did the other night. That quarterback, those wideouts. You look at Oklahoma. You look at that offense Oklahoma State has. You look at the offenses in the league. I'm just telling you guys right now, they can say anything they want. You guys heard me. You saw my quote the other day. I think it's just amazing that you guys have an NFL game, and it's maybe the most storied NFL night game of all time, but it wasn't bad defense. How about the offenses are just really, really, really good? How about that? So everybody needs to come and play in this league and see how this all goes down. It should probably shorten my lifespan. But for everybody out there that doesn't want another tweet, that doesn't mean I'm retiring right now, okay? So you guys all get that, okay? But I can tell you this much right now, I'm glad it's the end of the season, the regular season. There's no more of these guys I have to defend. I want to defend somebody from a different conference. Nobody from this conference.
So should
Yes, Drew.
A one-loss if Oklahoma wins the championship, should they be in the Final Four?
Everybody else has got one loss. Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to hear that Oklahoma team a year ago had 30. I mean, Georgia was a good defensive football team, and they were up 31-0. And Georgia had a good football team. All I'm saying to you is, I'm a coach, I just watch. I played Ohio State. I saw what they did to Michigan today. And I'm just telling you, I played both. I know who I'd rather play again and who I wouldn't. Okay, and they're both good football teams. Okay? Let me just my Twitter feed now can get hammered all night. Okay? But the bottom line, I'm tired of hearing about all that stuff. Guy's a good player. The quarterback at West Virginia is a good player. The guy tonight's a good player. I mean, how about they can just be good players? Why is it that one has to be better than the other? How come they can't all just be good? Why is it that it has to be like that? I mean, why do we have to compare them? The 2 quarterbacks the other night for the Rams and the Chiefs, fantastic. Why is it that one was better than them? No, they're just both really good, and they both had great skill sets to go along with them, the people that they're around. And guess what? And the Rams defense made more plays. The Donald guy, I mean, I hadn't watched because I don't get a chance to watch much NFL, and I was kind of flicked through. I was like, holy moly, this guy can rush the passer. So, another almost end to another season. And I've got to vote tonight, so you'll get a chance to see how I did it anyway. Okay? Then you can all pound on me again. But guess what? I don't care. How about that? One last one.
I think you were picked to finish 5th in the preseason poll. You finished 5th behind 4 ranked teams. What does it mean to get to that spot after what you endured this season?
I don't know. We won the conference when we were picked 6th. We finished bad when we've been picked 1st. So for me, it's just, you get to the end of the year and say, here's all the circumstances did you overachieve or underachieve? And I think with everything that happened to us, I think we ended up overachieving at the end. Simple. I don't think you can take away from our kids what they just got done accomplishing. That you got 5 or 6 starters left from the beginning of the season. Offensively, you're playing with a 13 quarterback. You're playing with probably a banged up second team running back and a 13 quarter running back. We're down 3 offensive guards. You're down your starting offensive tackle, Austin, the other day. And you're down the guy that had an unbelievable game in the Ohio State game, Dylan Thomas, which none of you guys talk about. And then he has to have surgery, and he doesn't play the rest of the year. And that was a big loss for us. He had an unbelievable game. Trey Heights was coming on. He's not here anymore. I mean, if you just keep going down the list, you guys all know who Jalen Rager is, but I go down the list of all these other players. Let's go down the list of all these 20-some guys that have had surgeries. Losing Blacklock in 2 days was tough. I mean, for us, our 4 starting defensive tackles last year that played in last year's defense, only one was left. Chris graduated, Blacklock didn't play, Joe didn't play, all you had was Corey left. So you had 1 D tackle that played last year. And the other 2 guys were redshirt freshmen. And you moved Mike Epley in to play defensive tackle and Brandon Bowen. I mean, they don't want to be D tackles. They weigh 240 pounds. I mean, but we don't got any choice. So when you ask me, how do I feel about it? I'd say it was a group effort. I can tell you that. But we're not putting anybody on a scale because it would scare all of us. So I'm done with my rant, just so everybody understands. Finally, I got to the end of the season so you could hear it all, just so you know, in living color.